Hey Deepa,
I,
hi, how are you? I heard that you went through some dental treatment. All okay?
yeah, yeah. I mean, not okay, but we'll get okay. So I feel a little numb here because there is anesthesia ka effect,
Hmm.
but
A- a-
it's fine.
Anytime you want to let me know or you want to take a pause, it's absolutely okay. Do let me know.
No, it's just that I'll keep sipping water.
Sure. Yeah, whatever can make it comfortable for you. No, I was wondering, Deepa, I know you and me have been in conversations. I was trying to remember, did we ever have a coaching conversation? So I was not able to remember clearly.
No, no.
Maybe 2020 sometime. I'm not very clear. Uh, so this is the first time we're going to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
and I
And
know
we are
there
in
are.
the same color,
Is
brown.
it brown? Okay, mine is I think kind of purple brown. I don't know whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I know that there are others in this call, Deepa. This is my first ever time I'm doing something live like this. Uh, just calling it aloud and then, acknowledging about it is making me feel a little comfortable. What can make you comfortable and safe in this space?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I don't think anything more is needed.
Great. So we have around about 40-45 minutes today. So what is that you want to be exploring and accomplishing at the end of the session?
Yeah. I think I paid, um, normally I go with the flow, but I think I wanted to give it attention and thought. So I was reflecting on the last mm, 2 months, 3 months of my life. And I think the area that I want to focus on is professional. And um I think, and what I want to really know is the why. Like I've been I've been accomplishing many things, but I always believe in root to shoot. I always believe in going to the root to keep it sustainable. So I think my questions are around why. And just to give you a little bit of a background, in December, around 4th, 5th of December, or maybe a little earlier, I submitted a team coaching assignment. And it was the last assignment, and it was a pitch deck, okay, while team coaching. And to write the raw, it took me not more than 10 minutes, and I had not read anything. It's not that I had read too many books and all. Cut, it came. And then, of course, it was very sketchy, but it just felt complete enough for now. And then I just beautified it and submitted. And then I asked myself that, and then in that, one of the slide was about the process of team coaching. When I wrote the process of team coaching, it just felt like I knew it from a very long time. It's not new. And then I asked myself that, okay, where is this coming from? Then I said, okay, it's not coming from arrogance for sure. I just feel I know it. And I know, I know what is needed to even take an assignment now. So I told the universe that, okay, I'm ready for assignments. And I think before I went on chutti, I think by 21st or 22nd, I had 4 assignments. Two were paid and two were pro bono. And my ask from the universe was every assignment must be different than the other. So for that, I'll do it. So exactly how it panned out. And then I start. Okay. Sorry, something is written. Okay. So um, when I started, they were different. I started on the 5th of January. With 5th was one assignment starting, 6th was another, and then subsequently the next two. Uh, and the assignments, the way I brought facilitation, diagnosis, coaching, it just felt like it was a wow. And there was a silent, and because I reflect every day, I could hear this silent voice saying that you're ready to take on organizational culture change assignments. And uh, and then I think one of the days in January we had the closure, team coaching a closure. At that time, something we were talking, and this came back again. And I remember that conversation I had with Rachel, and she said, take it, to a coach. But somehow in my inside, it just felt it was so clear. I unnecessarily, I didn't feel it was necessary because it was not coming from any space of unclarity. Very next week, uh, an OD assignment from a client uh, who's which is an NGO, came to me. And it is a 3 years project, has got everything that I want. It is unimaginably beautiful, soulful is the word, but complex. It had many elements that I had to execute. It was complex. So first of all, I told myself, this is scary. What you ask, you get. And I was scared. I was actually scared because when I saw the contours of what they wanted, I was very scared. Um, I felt I never said that I wanted in January. I mean, I said wanted. So in this whole thing, no, I think and that happened. And uske baad in this is March, no, February. Uh, Another thing is in the stage of finalizing. And March, this is March 6th, no, 2 days ago, I sent a proposal for a culture change for another organization. So, and these are places I didn't know before. It is causing me tension. Tension because I'm scared. It is God. And then I reflected on why am I scared. So it has got elements which are hard and elements which are soft. The hard elements are performance, balance scorecard, you know, even sometimes competency, what is that? Compensation metrics. These are things even in my, and the background is I was the OD head in the Aditya Birla group for many years. So I've accomplished, to a certain stage at that point in time. But I never went into a balance scorecard. I never went into a comp and ben because these are all number oriented things. And I know my capacity to hold complexity is X. For the last 10 years, I've been working on this capacity to expand complexity. And you will not believe it. I have not used frameworks, but I've used Mandala. So Mandala is my way to expand complexity and hold complexity, especially Flower of Life Mandala, which is very popular. So I am developing that, but I still feel like it's quite complex. First, I thought team coaching was complex, but when I started, I felt like, okay, I mean, this is not complex, really. If I know what is the center and what is the periphery, I can do this dance. I understood. Now, this is the next one. So, I think I want to explore why do I want to do OD work? Why do I want to do culture change? Because I remember, and I think I've written a post this week also. And what is happening is because I'm in this swing, I think I'm also called to write posts on this because it is really my current. It is completely changed. Even my social media person, she's saying it's so different, yet organic from what you used to write. And when I'm writing, it feels like I'm going back to 2012, 2008, and sensing that period and bringing it to here. So it just feels effortless. So then, if it's effortless, why is the fear? Why do I want to do that? And how can I do it without fear? Uh, Fear not doesn't stop me ever. Okay, I am never stopped by fear. लेकिन fear, what it does is that it weakens my energy and it brings tiredness. So that is what I want to really manage, the tiredness, not the physical tiredness of making the proposal, etc., but the tiredness of this fear that keeps coming. What I've already also written down is that what are the messages that I hold, which is against this desire. Clearly, it's a desire for me to do this. It's a desire which is beyond me. I can't. I'm not able to stop. Even the in work is not stopping. So who am I to stop? So, the question, then I was like, okay, what are the messages that are running? Because for image change to happen, there are already existing image messages that I need to pay attention to. So I paid attention to what are the messages running. And one of the messages, you're not good at you're not good with numbers. If you have to prove that this leads to this output, then you can't do it. Then you are creative. You're a creative facilitator. You're not a measurement-based facilitator. And these are the messages, and they don't keep me stuck, but they cause fear, they cause a pause, they cause a stop. And on the other hand, yesterday I'm having a conversation with my ex-boss ki Lumina करूँ या insights करूँ, Hogan करूँ या कुछ और करूँ. And I've never asked these questions because I've always said that, I'm a presence-based facilitator and a coach. But, it's not coming from certification, but it's coming from a desire to service a need that the client has. If the client understands the language of numbers, then I can go that path. Who am I to bring my thing? And to me, it feels like, wow, ऐसे भी सोच सकती है तू. So there are these many messages, which are this way and that way, and the emotions that I feel are, uh, I feel joy, I feel pride also that I have a bunch of skills which are like, and each of them are masterful, and each of them are not at a superficial level. I've gone deep into it, and I feel fear, I feel clarity, I feel इतना I mean ये सब चाहिए क्या, मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ ये सब, all of these are also there. Ultimately, the essence is that I'm unstoppable. I'm going to go that path. So might as well go with clarity, no? So it's that, the why. I think that why is what I want to know. I want to know it for myself. Yeah.
I'm seeing a big smile at the end of this sharing. Initially, when you started explaining to me, I could see that you're looking down, trying to recollect every part of what you
बुक
shared.
लिखा है.
And now, from the moment you started talking about, I'm creative, there was a moment you said that. And then from there
Creative.
on, this whole bright smile, there is a brightness. And then, I'm unstoppable. I want to do this. I could see a big shift there, Deepa.
Okay.
You asked a lot of questions. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you said, I want to explore this why.
Yeah.
Uh, why do I want to do OD work? Why do I
Yeah.
want to do this culture change work? And you also kind of towards the end you said, anyway, I'm going to do it, but I want to do it with clarity. And then there was this one moment you spoke about this fear and being
Yeah.
scared and being mindful of what you're asking. Yeah. Which one do you think that you want to explore further?
Why? Why? I think that's very clear. Fear
Mhm.
is connected to that. So
Hmm.
why?
Okay. So when you say why, what about why? You want to
What
explore further?
about
What about that? Why you want to further explore?
what further I want to explore? Why do I want to do OD work?
Mm.
Why do I want to do culture change? And how does everything that I do, how does it relate to that? Like, I think this is a spark that came to me is that, see, earlier I used to do leadership coaching. I mean, before this, I used to be a therapist. So even when I was a therapist, I mean, only corporate people used to come to me in my center. So it was never without the whole context. Then when I did leadership coaching, that also felt the same. But when I did team coaching, the background came to the foreground. Okay, and suddenly, even now when I'm doing individual coaching, I can't keep the context in the background. It is there. It is very much. It has come alive for me. So I think that was the key moment for me to realize that the interconnections and you know all of this to one to the other is important for me to do it in a context. And I think this was a question I always used to ask myself ki why am I not able to explain what will this lead to. I think I was always able to explain probably, but I never could see this interconnection just by studying and immersing myself in this peril model. um, I think and using it in context and bringing peril and the four levels of psychological safety together just by experimenting. And of course, I'm being a creative facilitator there. Just by experimenting that, the whole context comes alive to the extent that uh, thoda thod results can happen just in one conversation. So I feel like if this done consciously, it is so good. I think that's the joy I have. That's the joy of bringing a context into the exploration, uh, and a strategic context in the exploration, which earlier for me was not so much in the forefront. Um, I think that to be joyous about, and also that context because they have many interconnections. I'm just going to change my network. Because there are so many interconnections, it's complex also. That's the fear, and that's the joy also. Same thing. So I think yeah, I want to explore this. I think it's rather than just speaking to myself. Um, I just want to speak about these different connections.
Mm. And when you explore this, why,
Yeah.
and you said you want to do this with more clarity, what will that change for you in your work that you do?
Mastery. I will live and die for mastery. So for me, it is everything is pursuit of mastery. Like, if you wake me up at 12 a.m., I will coach masterfully because
Mm.
it's in now in my bones. If I switch to being a therapist, I can equally masterfully be a therapist because my supervisor then has drilled it in my bones. And I think for me, the why and the what and the how are important elements to tie because I don't want to do it as random. Like it is not one. Okay, आज project मिल गया तो कर लिया. it doesn't work for me that way. Never done anything like that. So that piece, no, now that it's coming, I think it's important for me to pause and know the why, because the way I put in my soul into it will be very different. And that soul putting in is going to make me masterful. And I have no hurry. Like let it take time. मेरे को कोई problem नहीं है. I'm also reminded of one more thing. Suddenly it occurred to me. So when I was in my OD days, it was I think 2011. Yeah. So I was nominated, rather, I pushed my manager to nominate me for the NTL certification. Um, and uh, it was in Gyanodaya, and it was not for my grade. But I said, I'm doing OD here. You're not interested. I'm only having to come here and do it. So send me. I was thrilled, and he nominated, and somehow ho gaya. On day one, they opened a chart, okay, of the influencers of OD. Many people were there. I don't remember the names. There was one slot there. I stood there and I told somebody to take a picture. And I told them that I want to be the next influencer in the field of OD. That was then. I mean, then I left. The next year I left because OD ka last session was a breakthrough for me, saying that I'm done. I don't have to be in corporate. After that, the next few years, I completely disconnected and I was in the therapy world. And whatever I had to do there for so many years, I did, and then came to coaching. So, I've done that. Then I did individual work in therapy and in coaching. And then life got me into team coaching. I did not, I didn't say, oh, I'm waiting for this program. She pushed me into it. He said, you have to do it. When I did also, first batch I didn't do, kuch ho gaya. Second batch I did. Only, even throughout the thing, I was not sure why I'm here. It was a breakthrough moment for me in the end only. So and then here I'm sitting and integrating everything. So it is something is there that is flowing. Started with something and then kuch aaya ki okay, that was overall. Now let's do part by part and let's integrate abhi. I don't know for how many years I'll do. And as I was seeing all of this, a marketer would ask me, "What's your niche?" Okay, and that's a question I never answered, and I don't think important also, because I think my niche is earlier I thought my niche is self mastery. Now I feel it's mastery. Self bhi nikal gaya because it feels small. It's just mastery in whatever. So I'm not even sure, and it doesn't perturb me. I'm just okay. I'm just okay not having a niche. I'm okay with going with the flow and going into it. So there's three elements, no? The individual, the team, and the organizational. I think for me, everything, I've always looked for wholeness. I think for me that is very it's how I feel. It's how it sits inside me. That image of wholeness. This just feels very whole, and one can be context of the other. Each one is a backdrop of the other.
Deepa, I heard three words. You spoke about this influencer, that photograph that you took. You spoke about mastery. You spoke about this wholeness. What do these three words mean to you in connection to the why that we are exploring?
Mastery. Can you just repeat the words? Mastery?
Influencer, wholeness.
Influencer, I'm not very sure yet, but I don't know if I'm not sure because I'm uh, I'm expecting myself to be an influencer already, and I'm not. So I'm not very sure. I think there are two parts to it, okay? Um, the why do I want to and OT work per se. Uh, these three words don't answer why do I want to. These three words answer if I do OD work, what will happen?
Mhm.
But there is something like this feels like in the outer. There is something in the inner which is amiss, which I'm not able to put a finger. I want that. I'm not able to listen to into that. And I want to go to the heart of the mandala. I don't want to swim in the awareness. These are, I mean, just when you said no, these came. So they are awareness, but I want to go to the heart.
Deepa, we've been talking for almost 30 minutes now.
Okay.
Okay. So in the remaining time that we have, what will help us go to that center?
You could ask me some questions that can, because I've asked myself.
Mm,
I mean, I'm really open to be asked
mm.
anything, even challenge compassionately. But yeah, I'm open to, I think I want to open my mind. I want perspectives. If you can ask me, no, then I'll get that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you want me to open up for you to get perspectives, ask you some questions.
Mm.
We started with exploring why I want to do this body work because you want to operate with clarity. And when I asked you, what will that give you? You said mastery,
Mm.
because that's what it is all about for you, the work you do. Everything is about mastery, you said, whether it's coaching, whether it's your therapy, and now this team coaching, OD work. These three words, you said it's on the outer.
And now when you're saying it also, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it's in
What
the
I
outer.
told then, no, I think it was one level, but I don't think that's the answer.
Yeah,
Now
so
when you're saying it, yeah.
it's in the outer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you look at the center,
Yeah.
because I also know you are a very visual person,
Right, right,
right? So when you see this mandala for yourself,
right.
this flower mandala which you work with, I'm not very good at it, Deepa, but if you need to see it for yourself, what do you see there?
I want to see the center. I don't want to see the flower.
Yeah. So when you focus on the center, what do you see
Huh.
there?
Blank.
Blank.
Yeah, it's white. It's blank.
Yeah. What does this white mean to you in this context?
Anything can be written.
Mhm.
Anything can be sprayed. Anything can be done. Yeah.
Deepa, earlier you mentioned I'm this creative facilitator, and whenever you used that word or when you were talking about it, there was a big spark, this big smile.
Right.
Currently, I'm seeing all that is missing in your face. What's
Right.
happening?
I think I'm thinking, uh, what's the center? I think that is what, like, that's, it's almost like I want to swim into that center and find it. Oh, nahi, filal. Like, I'm not, so I'm trying to, but it's not happening. I'm not able to use my mind for
Mm,
it. Like, it's
mm,
too much of a mind thing, is what I'm feeling.
mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, if you were facilitating this for yourself creatively, how would you do it?
You mean the exploration?
Yes.
I think I would keep looking at the center for a while and see what emerges. Yeah.
Can I share something here, Deepa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever I know of you, I know
Mm,
that you are this creative person, and then
mm,
you find your answers like that,
mm.
not from the logical side so
Right,
much,
right, right, right,
right? But
right.
to me, it looks like whatever we are doing now, especially when you said this is all the outer, it feels
Yeah,
it's more on the logical side. It's not helping us get to the center.
right.
So that's the reason I'm asking you, if we were
Mm.
to look at this creatively,
Yes.
what else should we be doing here, which will help you get that?
I think I would just look at the center. That's what is coming to me. Softly holding the inquiry. So do you suggest I do that right now?
Would you like to do that now? Because we just have another,
Yeah,
say,
that's why I'm asking.
9, 10 minutes into the conversation.
That's why.
What's your preference?
I think I cannot do it in hurry. I need spaciousness.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing will come to me. Like I think my spirit has to be involved in it. Oh, fatafat, it will not happen.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think I'll do it. I'll definitely
yeah.
do it. So what I'm thinking is that if I were to draw three awarenas, say one is mastery, there are other two words, boldness, and the influence as three outside. Um, Somehow that influencer feeling, no, it's not as alive right now for me. Um, because something else is alive from an influencer perspective. Like I want to bring arts in facilitation. That's what I want to do. So that is a different, completely different thing. But it's more an exploration. But mastery and wholeness feels true to me even today. Um, so I can create them as outer circles, and innermost circle I can leave it plain, like the way I saw, and I love it to explore, emerge. And the other thing is that if maybe at times when I do it, it will emerge also. Yeah, yeah, it will emerge when I do.
I again saw the smile briefly for a moment, and
You saw what?
I again briefly saw that smile coming back briefly
Okay,
for a moment.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
what's happening?
What's happening? Um, I don't know. I don't know about the smile, but uh, I think I'm in this image. I can see the image, and I can, even if I don't have all the clarity, mm, yeah, it's okay. I'll keep pursuing for clarity and keep executing. And I know that I will not stay with the pull for too long. I know that. I've always sought to cut it, to cut the pull, reverse pull, I'm saying, sorry. So I think, yeah, it will surely happen. Just like the center will reveal. The center bhi aayega, and the reverse pull is also the fear, actually. The other one I told you, no?
Mm. Yeah,
So
I don't think we got to explore that part at all today.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just getting a sense ki
Mm.
it is that, and I think it will. I'm not very sure whether it will come, not come. I don't know. But I'm okay to live with I don't know.
We started with this question of why OD, and you wanted clarity at the end
Yeah.
of the conversation. Uh, what progress do you think we have made over the last 40 minutes?
That image and words with a weighted center, you know, waiting for the arrival. Actually, I think the womb is created
Mhm.
and babies are waited.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The babies are waited. And I know that from here, that's why I said, no, I'm unstoppable. I feel it, I don't know it.
Mhm.
I don't know it. I'm trying to know because I think over time, I know that while my primary is sense and feel, when I know, um, it really, it's powerful.
Mhm.
Wherever I think, feel, and know, even my every action is congruent. So I think I like to live like that.
Mm,
So why is it important? It's not mastery, but it's congruence.
mm,
The earlier one I told you. And congruence is definitely in the inner, but it's not the answer to this. But congruence is in my core. Yeah.
So from here, what's next for you?
I just draw it and wait. Wait. Like I always have images here, which have go even my vision image for 2026. It happened every day over a period of 31 days. So slowly and steadily it formed. And on 1st of January it came up. So like that, it can come. But it is very important to me. Itna mujhe sure. It's very clear.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that you don't want to rush this, but you're very sure that it's going to
Actually.
come. I loved how you said the womb is created, the baby would arrive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just need to stay with it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I know sounds esoteric, but sounds true.
Mm. How are you feeling at the end of this conversation, Deepa?
Calm, committed. Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge there were moments of stuckness and ambiguity in the conversation. That's what I felt. I'm not sure what you felt in that moment, but I think you held on to it so beautifully.
Thank you.
So, if you need to say something and bring this conversation to a close, what would you like to say?
I'm staying with the, I do not know it's as strong as a womb. So, and that is everything for me, the whole womb and the process. So I think just from that, I'm sensing that this inquiry and the work, the holistic work is important, is very important. So I think that's what I'm staying with at this point of time. And feel it feels like a summary. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I would request you to definitely share with me when you find that.
Oh yeah, 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 sure,
Yeah,
sure.
I'll be waiting to hear from you on that.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure. Either I find it before I deliver things, or I will deliver things and then feel this. I don't know which way. But yeah, I'll keep you informed.
all right. All right, Deepa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha.
Okay, let's take a couple of minutes. I put the um, prompts in the chat box, and it's 6:51, 6:53. You can start raising your hands. I'm going to take a 2 minutes break, come back, and we will continue. Okay, before I get others to share, I just want to acknowledge Sudha and Deepa for giving such a beautiful experience of a coaching conversation. Sudha,
Yeah,
what
Sri.
is that you would like to share before I allow others to share their observations?
Mm. I was not as conscious as I thought I would be when I'm doing a live coaching session. That's the first thing I want to share. Mm. I enjoyed the conversation, including the moments of not knowing, feeling stuck as a coach, um trying to authentically express it as much as I can. Um, it felt like mm, I was swimming with Deepa in deep waters. I'm not guiding. I don't know where I'm going. Um, I didn't know where we both were going for a while. Um, the only light I had was my competence history. I think that's how I felt, if I need to sum up my experience.
It
Deepa,
was
what would
what?
you like to share?
What was the guide you said?
But the
Competencies.
competency framework. I said, especially in the moment of when I felt little lost, I think that was the only guiding.
Nice.
Deepa, what is that you would like to share?
When Sudha said no, felt stuck. Some word. I was thinking, were we stuck? Like I never felt stuck. I felt there was a flow. It's like exploring, but I never felt stuck. So it was like एक मिनट के लिए मुझे लगा कि अच्छा stuck थे क्या मुझे नहीं मालूम. Um, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the pace, the space, the allowance for me to air because I like this. I like spaciousness. I like to take all of it. And that's why when he said that I can coach, I'm like, yes, I'm good. So I like that you allowing that. I liked it. And I'm motivated to. I've already drawn the mandala. Thank you.
Rachel, I know that you need to drop by 7. If you want to share something, there's no compulsion. If you want to share something, you can share it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say can I share because I need to drop off at 7. So firstly, Sudha, Deepa, beautiful demonstration. I think it was absolutely lovely. And truly it's really nice to see the two energies because Deepa's is very and I would say Deepa had a lot that she needed to work through, talk through, and all of that. And I think Sudha, you were able to hold that beautifully. I think for me, this entire conversation comes down to that beautiful two questions that you asked. When you look at the center, what do you see? I think that was such a powerful question. And when she said white, you didn't get distracted by it or thrown off by it, and you said what does white mean in this context, and that was so powerful because then from that's where that emergence happened that anything can be written here. So I think that was very powerful. When she said I see blank, I see white, for a moment I was like, oh, she's in that's where I felt that, oh, she's stuck. But you didn't see that as stuck, you saw that as space for more emergence. I think that was absolutely beautiful. What I might suggest as could be done differently, two things again. One, um, when she explained the whole initial, she had a lot to share in the beginning. She spoke for, I think, a good 8-10 minutes. At that point, this space of there's so much that she threw at you. This thing of what would getting to that why do for her? What would change for her when she gets to that why? I think that might have got her a little bit more focused into the outcome for this conversation. But so that's just my offering as a possible approach, different approach. But overall, I absolutely loved it. So thank you for allowing us to witness this.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Rachel.
Deepa.
I'll explore this.
Shri, can we record this? So we are recording this, right?
Everything is getting recorded.
Yeah, because I would want to kind of go through what everybody else, gave their input. So, so I'll catch up on that. So I'll drop off now. Thanks. Bye.
Sure.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, Arun, go ahead.
Okay, since no one was raising hands, Shri, I thought I'll raise my hand and my perspective here. And a wonderful conversation, a lot of takeaways from here. What I really loved was, and in the end, and I wish Sudha talked about how do you like to bring this conversation to an end, and what will that be? So I think that's something which I really kind of liked. Again, since I was told there's only one more question that we can ask, what would I have done differently is probably in the question around the why. One of the metaphor I might have wanted to explore was about if it was a white paper, what did you want to write in the white paper? What do you want to create in the white paper? And probably also around saying that she's good with creative. So if you have to create a mandala, take some time out to create a mandala and explore what the center feels for you. Probably would have helped in terms of the creativity to kind of manifest here. So that probably is something I would have done differently. Yeah. Thank you.
I thought Sudha asked whether she wants to do it, and Deepa said, no, I don't want to do it here. I will just do it when I'm when I'm available, or when I create the spaciousness and all that. Yeah, Murli, go ahead.
So I joined in the middle, but then yes, I found one thing that Sudha was holding a lot of space for Deepa and allowed Deepa to explore within with the creativity that she is really good at. And I found her curious. The questions were very curious, which was actually allowing Deepa to go inside and look into the center. The focus was to look into the center. She asked that a couple of times to understand that what is she, to allow the client to understand what she's actually looking at. And that was something I kind of found it very nice and very, holding it for Deepa to bring her creativity and her allowance in that center and find what she's exploring and what she's getting out of it. That was something which was very, very nice. I don't know what I can actually suggest about what she could have done differently, because I joined late, so I think I'm not the right person today to say that. But then I really loved the space that she held for Deepa.
Sure. Yeah, Murli, sorry, I invited you, and go ahead, Murli.
No problem. So, when the obviously very beautiful conversation, and I think there is a lot of synergy and organic, exploration. But when Sudha asked the opening question, I felt, very apprehensive. And I'll tell you, that's my thing. I own the emotion. I'm not suggesting that. At least from whatever we have seen of Deepa, I don't know much about her, but whatever I've seen is she's a very creative person. She uses art therapy, so many things, right? So asking a question like, what would you like to explore is actually like, completely unbounded. Yeah, it is good, but also the time that we have, how do we converge? I think that was the apprehension that I had. So maybe the first question could be, what is the meaningful outcome that you'd like to take away from? I mean, that's a very, very deliberate question, really challenging the client, right? The person. When she was talking about the flower mandala and she was talking about the outer, uh, I think one question that came to me was, as you're exploring the outer, who are you becoming?
Hmm.
I think somewhere the being questions could have probably grounded her and got her into more inner, because that's the thing she wanted. That's what I noticed. Thank you.
Yeah, Ila, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Ila.
Sorry there. So I think what I noticed is a beautiful dance between the coach and the client. What stood out for me in this dance is that the client tried to put a lot of onus on the coach, and the coach very calmly refused to take it on herself. So not once did I see the coach, take up that onus and try to provide any kind of a direction. So where I saw that, if you had explored this creativity, how would you do it? Instead of feeling stuck, that's the approach. At some point, Deepa said, do you want me to explore it now? I mean, there's little time, but do you want me to do it? To which the coach said, what do you feel? So it was back on the client to decide that. And another thing that I loved is, I sensed, this is what the coach said, I sensed moments of ambiguity. I don't know what you sensed. I'm not sure if you sensed that. So I think it was very client-centric, nothing about the coach. The coach was really, really not bringing anything from her perspective. I think that was beautiful. One thing that I thought could have been avoided, or I would have probably done differently, is when Sudha said the metaphor around the womb is created and the child will. She said, "Oh, I like that. I like that." That probably could have been avoided. But all in all, a beautiful conversation. Lots to learn from this. Thank you so much, both of you.
Yeah, Suchi, go ahead.
First and foremost, it was brilliant. Very little that, I could say that, what is it that can be, so textbook, I would say. Reason being the space of not knowing, and still Sudha was unfazed and just was present, fully present without any emotions showing up. And like, she said towards the end, there is stuckness, and Deepa mentioning that I didn't even feel stuckness because she was in her flow. And Sudha did not let that come forward at all. That was just brilliant. And most importantly, she persisted and ensured that there was a proper closure, and there was how would you close this? What would you like? What is that thing that you would take away from here, etc., etc.? So there was no rushing at all. So this is something that I would say for me is like a textbook of not knowing and how to still be fully present. Two is that I have a question actually here. I think the initial was about 20 minutes that Deepa was speaking. And in situations like this, when the coach is talking so much, how do we kind of synthesize this? And that's why when I saw that Sudha talked about 3 words that stood out for her, and Deepa said, is that so? I think it's in the outer. So sometimes we as novice could end up bringing up certain words which make meaning for us, but it may not be something that could be from the client's lens important. So, so how do we kind of bring, when a coachee speaks, a client speaks for a very long time, what is it that the coach is supposed to do? And now I'm mindful of not taking notes. So therefore, we'll need some help from you, Shrikant, on how to navigate this. The only other question part of what is it that you would do differently? I felt that she many a times talked about an interconnectedness. She also talked about, so perhaps, how does all of this become interconnected? And the other word that she kept repeating was wholesomeness or something. And how will knowing the why get you the answer to both? So that was the only question that I was thinking of. That's it. But otherwise, thank you so much, both of you, for this brilliant demo.
Sucha, I'll answer your question towards the end. If I forget, that remind me. Maru, go ahead.
So I think this was like MCC plus. Okay, so I think it was utterly brilliant. I think some amazingly brilliant questions. I'm not going to go into them. And just the sheer spaciousness you were able to create was utterly brilliant. Deepa, like a lot of people have pointed out, was said a lot in the first 8-10 minutes. And the way you were able to just get her to become more centered, calmer, start speaking slower, more reflective, it was just so beautifully and masterfully done. And literally you took her in words. Something Suchitra said, which is what was on, she mentioned the word interconnections right in the beginning. And then she talked a lot of polarities, both joy and fear, inner and outer. That word, for some reason, did not get explored. And the thought that came to my mind was, if had that been explored, could something else have emerged? I don't know. Anyway, one can never know which thread gets explored and where it can take you. But I felt that was one of the key words, because your question immediately after she had mentioned interconnections, and when you explore this why, and want to do this with more clarity, what will change in your work? And I felt that word interconnections got missed. The other thing, and I think many people have also said it, I think some of the words that define Deepa is creativity, some visual, and energy. Given that you had created so much spaciousness, could something have been done maybe earlier in the session? I don't know what. So again, one never knows how it plays out. It was ripe for emergence. Could you have harnessed these three to actually do something? I know you do a lot of body practice, etc. Could something have been done to actually allow for that emergence? Those are my 2 bit.
Yeah, Mandeep, go ahead.
It was a great session, and the coach was giving a lot of space to the client in initial 15-20 minutes, and the client was exploring herself and getting that clarity. So the first thing is like bringing that into the client's awareness that already she had a lot of clarity. When she was exploring, she got a lot of clarity, bringing that into that awareness. Second thing, I mean, the session was good. Only one thing which came to my mind is the coach and the client both were focusing on the question that why you want to do the body work. So I would have asked, if I have to ask something differently, I would have asked that how will that help? Asking that question, if you get the answer why you want to do that body work, how will that help you? So that is only one question came to my mind. Or how important, couple of times she said that it is really important for her to know that why. So how important is that? So taking that other route and identifying that what will change if she get that answer. Thanks.
Deepa, you raise your hand. She froze. I saw you raising your hand, Deepa.
Are you asking
No,
me?
Deepa.
Yes, yes,
No,
correct.
I'm asking Deepa, you raised your hand.
Actually,
I
when
noticed.
Suchitra said no, that she came up with those 3 words, that helped me a lot because I understood in all that I shared that these 3 words have popped. So that really helped me. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, Venkat, go ahead.
So some of the things that I really loved in this conversation were, a couple of times in the conversation, the client spoke for long spells. One in the beginning, she spoke for nearly 13 minutes, and the coach beautifully picked up and summarized the key threads and put it back to the client to narrow down the focus. And the second time was, those 3 words came out, the mastery, influencer, and wholeness, right? That was the key moment. Second was the deliberate use of silence that was done very masterfully. Third was noticing the shifts in the energy at key points. That was very well done. I had also noted down the same question that Arun had asked. When the client said that anything can be written in that white space, the question would be, what would you want to write that might lead you to that why? I did not observe the measure of success question asked. Maybe I missed it. I'm not sure about that.
Not there. It was not there.
Yeah. So those are my questions.
It was not there. Okay. Oh, yeah,
Can you
Venki, go
repeat
ahead.
that question, Venkat? I'm just being greedy.
No, not at all. Question was, what do you want to write in that white space that might lead you to the why?
Okay, thank you.
Venki, go ahead.
Yeah, beautiful conversation, Sudha and Deepa. Thank you. What I really loved about the conversation was that so much of acceptance for the belief system of the client, where Deepa spoke about many of her beliefs, and I think Sudha held that space, and many of her questions were also she used the client's language. I like the question when you asked if you had to facilitate this, how would you do it? I like that question. What I would do differently is maybe have a tighter agreement. That's what I would do differently. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Venki, what does that mean? I don't think I understood your statement.
The
What agreement?
agreement, the agreement, tighter agreement because a measure of success. So all of that. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch the word. Thank you.
Thanks.
Who else wants to share? Jill. Where's Jill?
Perfect. Thank you so much for this conversation. As I'm coming to understand, not every conversation is masterful. And this so much is about chemistry and the presence that both the coach and coachee bring. So that you really held that space and that listening was profound. Like you're very solid in your presence. And I felt that. And I felt that even for Deepa, that she could swim around in her consciousness and give her that freedom to swim. Because when the consciousness is so vast, we get lost even there. So we need that anchor. So that I felt that anchoring really powerful for Deepa. I think in terms of what I might think about doing differently, I think, and it goes back to what Venki is saying in terms of the agreement, and I'm seeing it now that we might flow in the conversation, but somehow at the end is when actually the agreement really matters the most somehow. Because it's like, where are we wrapping this into? So I'm seeing that, and maybe that's just a general reflection, that I'm seeing the power of the agreement in terms of where this all kind of concludes. So that's just a reflection I generally have. But otherwise, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay. Who else? Okay, since nobody is sharing, I'm going to share something that I noticed, which of course is relevant to Sudha, plus it may be relevant to all of you as well. Yeah, I acknowledge everything you all shared, a lot of spaciousness, a lot of silence, a lot of pauses for the client to process, and the coach was completely like, okay, I'm going to operate from a place of not knowing. It was very evident. Sudha, while you played back your observations most of the time very beautifully, one thing, this is for you plus all the others, is when you're playing back the observations, just notice the language that you're using. Sudha, you said, while explaining to me, she was not explaining to you. She was just articulating her thoughts. Maybe rephrase while you are sharing, and then otherwise it becomes she is answering every question that is answering is for you. So that you avoid, right? That is for everybody. One thing that I thought when she spoke about the niche, self mastery, and then she said, no, now it's become mastery. What shifted for you from going from there to there? You asked a question. Of course, you picked up the 3 words and explored that. I thought if you had done that, I don't know where would I have gone. I have no idea. It could have gone a little deeper, and then maybe something would have come out. So this is what my thing. See, I have. If y'all can just get a hang of it, I think your agreement will get a little bit deeper. A question like, Deepa, not knowing the why right now, what does it make you feel? Whatever. And then when you know the why, you ask that question, what is going to be different? So what do you feel that we'll have to explore to go from where we are here right now to finding that why? Could have gone a little deeper there, yeah? This is my go-to questions, so it would have helped, is what I feel. I'm not sure. The becoming question somebody asked, right? Who will you become? It's a good question. If you establish who are you being right now, who will you become? Then your current state, future state, what is the gap that we need to work? That also could have gone deeper. So that is what I felt. So Suchi, you asked a question. If you can repeat that, I will answer that.
My question was, when the coachee speaks for a very, very long time and we aren't taking notes, we are also flowing, swimming along with her. How do we ensure that we are summarizing in a way that makes sense? Or can we summarize in a way where we are careful? Like in this case, the words that Sudha picked up resonated with Deepa. But there were other words like, interconnectedness, wholeness, knowing the why of why am I doing OD and what is the purpose, etc. that she was talking was something that was resonating with me. So we are getting into the content there. So how do we stay content neutral and still summarize so that it makes some tricks, hacks basically to help.
Sure. Yeah. So I want to ask you this question. If you don't have to do any work and get the client to do all the work, once the client has spoken for about 10-15 minutes, what would you do?
What would you do? So I have to summarize, right? That is the pressure that I'm sitting with. And I take notes and I play it back. Now I
You
have
don't
kept
have to
my
summarize.
phone off, I have kept my pen off nowadays.
Get the belief out of your head. You don't have to summarize. the client knows what they have said. Hey, client, I'm hearing you say several things like A, B, C, D. If you have to
Okay.
summarize whatever that you
Uh,
said, how would you like to summarize?
okay. We will still pass if you ask that question. Okay.
What
That's
do
a
you
big,
think?
no, I don't know. I mean, that's a big relief because we thought that this is the only work the coach does, which is summarizing and bringing a gist of whatever she said. And and really from the last session onwards, I've started keeping my pen off, except for these sessions. So it's a big relief. Thank you.
So you don't have to, if you just see, let me ask you a question. Deepa spoke for about 10 minutes at least. Let's assume that you were taking notes. Assume for a moment. How much notes you would have taken? Okay. You have taken, I don't know how much. Then you are going to take time to locate those notes. And then you are going to make an observation or ask a question. How much time of the client have you taken away? I only want you to reflect on that question.
No, I understand what you're saying. So now at least there is a lot of presence because we are in the moment there. And we could just kind of play this back to see what is it that the client is wanting to take as important rather than us trying to summarize, especially when there is a lot being spoken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
I'll
got
also
it.
share something. I'll put it in the larger group. All of you have watched, at least by now, all of you have watched that Power of Silence by Alain Cardone. Okay. He has done I don't think it's a master class, maybe you call it a podcast that Madhu shared with me about a couple of months ago. Okay. I felt that was an outstanding conversation that he had with a few coaches. I'm going to put that in the larger group and I want you all to watch it. Okay. And he talks about when you take notes, what happens to the trust and intimacy with the client. Okay, please watch it. Some of the questions that you're sitting with Suchitra, you will get answers for that. Ila, go ahead.
So I just, when you asked that question, what would you have asked after listening to a whole, almost like an essay of several pages? Any client, I'm not talking about Deepa here, but clients do that. Probably asking, you spoke a lot of things, which are some keywords that stood out for you as you were speaking, or, maybe just, so I think that's what I loved about Sudha's coaching. She put it back to the client. She didn't take any pressure on herself. So I think that's what she demonstrated beautifully.
Yeah, Venki, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to share the
Sudha
same thing
wanted
what
to say
Ela
something
said.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
Venki raised the
yeah.
hand. I'll come to Sudha. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had something similar what Ela spoke about, how Sudha played those words. And one of the things that I struggle with, Shrikant, is that I don't summarize at all. And you know that. And I don't know whether it is right and should I, because I'm under pressure to summarize and I just don't do it ever.
So it's not required. The only thing which is required is that if the clients have shared something, use the same language to
Okay.
make your observations and ask questions. But if you don't use their own language and make observations and ask questions, one is, of course, they have to make meaning of your language. It's not going to help them. And if it goes to an assessor may think that you are asking questions from a script. But if you're asking questions from if you use the exact language that they used and ask questions, then they know that you have listened to the client and then ask questions based on the client's language. Yeah, Sudha, go ahead.
No, I think let Madhu complete. I just want to thank everybody.
Sudha, go ahead. Mine is nothing to do with the session. I just wanted to say uh, how both of you are just so beautiful. And for me, the conversation was real. And I think it's that human connection that makes, the interaction so powerful. So I was just feeling blessed that, both of you are my dear friends
Yeah,
and how
so
much I love both of you.
correct. I was very surprised to know Sudha saying and Deepa saying that they have never been in a coaching conversation. Yeah, because they know each other for at least, to my knowledge, about 10 years. They have been my part of my very first cohort with only 4 people. Yet how they didn't coach each other, it's a it's a puzzle to me.
One thing I want to certainly call out is Sudha's authenticity and honesty from get-go. How she's feeling about herself, about the conversation, and her entire being. I think it's that authenticity that leads the client to where they want to go. And for me, that was brilliantly displayed. Thank you, Sudha. And of course, Deepa.
Yeah, Sudha, go ahead.
Yeah. I just first want to thank Deepa for giving me this wonderful opportunity. As she said, even I wondered. That's what was my first question. How come I never coached Deepa in all these years? Yeah, so this was a great opportunity, and thank you so much, Shri. I think the first step is done of doing a live coaching session, pushing me into the uncomfortable zone. Now I feel even more confident and putting my hand up. So whenever nobody's coming, so I'll come. And you were my inspiration, and thank you so much for that. I think thank you each and every one of you for making a note of what you liked in what I did and what I could have done differently. I think this was very, very useful. Thank you so much. And Shri, 2 gems that I'm walking away with what you shared. Yeah, I think that really, really would make a lot of difference. Um, the other 2 things that I want to definitely share, like just more like a submission is 2 things happened in that first 15 minutes. Like we started around about 6566 until that 622. 2 things happened. The internet connection, I'm not very sure it was in my end or in Deepa's end.
Deepa's
Okay.
couple of times went to, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think it
there
was
was
my end. And when I realized it, I was like, oh my God, what is she listening? My God, I felt responsible.
so the thing that was I was facing as a coach was because she was fully, sharing. So there was a moment I thought, should I tell her that there is some problem in the connection? But somewhere I felt doesn't matter the content. Somehow I can manage. I think I'm trying
Absolutely.
to get what she's trying to say. It's okay. I don't even want to come in between. That is one thing I went through. And then this measure of success question. At 6:33, I remember the timestamps. Okay, at 6:33, at 6:39. Then you know what I did as a coach? There was something else that felt more important for me. And to me, it was like, it's okay. I don't have to now evidence it for the sake of evidencing. It's feeling forceful for me. Though I remembered it, I just let it go.
Which is okay.
And what I want to share is this, I find it as a pattern in me, Shri. That is what I want to overcome. That's what I want to submit here in front of all of you is this is something that as a coach I struggle with. I will remember many things like that as I said, the whole thing is in front of me, but I cannot force myself to do something in spite of remembering. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just sharing this so that it's out there.
So Sudha, this is what I would recommend you do. If it has come to your awareness, pause. Pause there and you can also tell the client, hey, client, before we move forward, I just want to take a pause and check with you. How would you know by end of the session you got the answer that you were looking for? Then it will flow.
Yeah. You know why those moments when I got that question, my reason for not asking it is already I felt this conversation was more on the mind, and Deepa was not getting anything out of it. And then she wants to explore it more from, very intuitively from her energy level. So then I thought this question doesn't sit well. Already I'm recognizing it. Like, my dilemma there was, do I pace with the client's need here or my need to evidence? I think that was what I was going in my mind.
Great. I want you to reflect on this, right?
Okay.
How could you ask a measure of success question at a being level? Don't give an answer now.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you. But thank you. This was really, really very, very useful. All the inputs and especially what you pointed out, Shri.
Also, let me confess here, it is not easy to coach a person like Deepa. It is not easy, right? Because if you do not get her to converge, she's so articulative, so creative, she can speak a lot of things. And if you nail the agreement, then it will be easy to coach her. Because Deepa has complained to me many times that she does peer coaching and she'll come and complain, what is this? I didn't know what I was working towards. You can ask her.
I have to tell you one thing. All these 4 questions before coming, I'd asked myself, I have the answer, but I completely forgot. So funny.
Yeah. Madhu, you raise your hand for something.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to speak to Sudha on that struggle, because I was going through it myself, Sudha, and then I said I'm just going to practice it. And then once I did it, right, that's when I saw the question's merit. Shri had given me feedback, and then I went back and then I just practiced it out because I also was telling him that I didn't feel the client needed it then. So I went through that myself, but now I know the merit of it. And it just 2-3 conversations after, then I settled into it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right.
sharing that.
So before we wrap up, I want to share something. The very first cohort we did 2 years ago, January 2024, with Sudha, Deepa, and Maruk and Roli, I coached Deepa for a live demonstration. She has given me permission to share it. It's there on YouTube. I'll share the link in the group. Please watch it. Yeah. All right. So with that, we shall wrap this up. And I will make the recording available once I have consulted with Sudha and Deepa.
I am okay, Shri.
I'm okay too.
All right. Done.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye,
so
everybody.
much. Bye.
Bye bye.